In 2022, NASA proved we could change an asteroid's orbit. But what they're building now is a $500 billion planetary defense system designed to stop the kind of cosmic impact that wiped out Sodom, and it must be ready before 2029, when a city-killer asteroid makes its closest approach to Earth in recorded history. This is not a Hollywood script. It is the quiet, classified reality of Project Aegis, a shield for our entire planet. For most of human history, the idea of defending Earth from a cosmic impact was the stuff of mythology and science fiction, a problem for the gods, or for a future century far more advanced than our own. But that future is now, and the clock is ticking. Our story begins not with a telescope, but with a desert, the ancient city of Tal el-Hammam in modern-day Jordan. For decades, archaeologists puzzled over a strange 3,600-year-old layer of destruction. Melted pottery, buildings flattened in a single direction, and human bones showing signs of instantaneous vaporization. The evidence pointed to a cataclysm so sudden, so violent, it defied conventional explanation. Until a multidisciplinary team published a paper in 2021, their conclusion was staggering. Tal el-Hammam, a city many scholars link to the biblical Sodom, was destroyed by the airburst of a small asteroid. A fireball hotter than the surface of the sun, a shockwave that obliterated everything for miles. It was a local event, but it served as a dire warning, a preview of what a larger object could do. This is the central conflict of our age. We live on a planet floating in a cosmic shooting gallery. We have mapped millions of asteroids, and most are harmless, but it only takes one, the one we don't see in time, the one that slips through the net. For years, planetary defense was a backwater of space science, a theoretical exercise. Then, in 2013, a 20-meter asteroid exploded over Chelyabinsk, Russia. It injured over 1,500 people. It was a wake-up call heard in every capital on Earth, and it made one thing terrifyingly clear: we are naked. This realization is the turning point, the moment the theoretical became an urgent existential priority. NASA's Double Asteroid Redirection Test, DART, was the first tentative step, a proof of concept that we could, with enough lead time, nudge a small asteroid off course. It was a brilliant success, but it was like inventing the bow and arrow to stop a tank. DART worked against a tiny moonlet, with years of preparation. What about the asteroid we only spot months out? What about the one that's a kilometer wide? For those, we need something else, something bigger. This is where the story deepens, and where the true scale of human ambition and fear is revealed. Welcome to Act 2, the confrontation. The $500 billion question. What could possibly cost that much, and what is it designed to do? The answer lies in a convergence of technologies so advanced they border on science fiction. Project Aegis is not a single weapon. It is a layered system, a network of next-generation space telescopes with AI-driven threat detection, constantly scanning the blind spots in our sky. It is a fleet of interceptor vehicles, stationed in strategic orbits, powered by propulsion systems we've only seen in classified briefings. But the part of the system, the controversial cornerstone, is codenamed Mjolnir. Named for Thor's hammer, Mjolnir is not about nudging, it is about obliteration. Early concepts involved nuclear explosives, but the fear of creating a shotgun blast of radioactive debris led to a more elegant and terrifying solution: directed energy. Think of the most powerful laser ever conceived, powered not by chemical fuels, but by nuclear fusion. A prototype fusion reactor, compact enough to fit on a spacecraft, providing near-limitless energy to a phased array laser system. This laser wouldn't just heat the surface of an asteroid, it would vaporize it, creating a jet of superheated material that acts as a natural thruster, pushing the asteroid onto a new, safe trajectory. Or, if the object is smaller and time is short, slicing it into fragments that would burn up harmlessly in the atmosphere. The engineering challenges are beyond monumental. They are Herculean. Creating a stable, compact fusion reactor in space is a problem that has bankrupted ideas and broken careers. The materials needed to withstand the laser's power don't yet exist in any warehouse. We are literally inventing the tools to build the tool that will save us. and the price tag reflects that desperate innovation. $500 billion, a sum so vast it could end world hunger, solve the climate crisis, or fund a base on Mars. Instead, it is being silently allocated, buried in budgets across multiple nations, for an insurance policy against a threat most people never think about. Which leads to the complication, the twist that makes this story more than just a tale of mega engineering. Why the secrecy? Officially for strategic and technological security, but sources close to the project whisper of another reason: panic. The psychological impact of announcing a planetary shield is profound. It makes the threat feel immediate, real, and terrifying. It could trigger economic chaos, social unrest, a global crisis of confidence. So the nations involved build in silence. They race against a calendar not of their own making. And that calendar has a red circle around the year 2029. That is when asteroid 99942 Apophis, a 370-meter-wide behemoth, will pass closer to Earth than our own geostationary satellites. It will be visible to the naked eye. For a time, scientists calculated a small but real probability of impact. Those odds have now been refined to 0 for this pass. Apophis will miss. But its flyby is a dress rehearsal, a cosmic warning shot. It is the perfect test case for Project Aegis's tracking and response protocols, a live fire exercise without the fire. If the system can't confidently track and analyze an object of that size on a known trajectory, it has no hope against a true unknown. The pressure is absolute. 2029 is not a deadline, it is a verdict. This brings us to the highest point of tension, the shocking revelation. In digging through patents, budget anomalies, and the testimonies of retired aerospace engineers, a pattern emerges. The technological leaps required for Mjolnir's fusion-powered laser, they didn't appear out of nowhere. The physics, the magnetic confinement designs, the efficiency curves, they show a maturity, a sudden acceleration that puzzles independent experts. Some whisper of a breakthrough born not in a modern lab, but in the past, of concepts recovered from the ashes of Cold War projects deemed too costly or too dangerous to pursue, of a forgotten lineage of energy research, shelved for decades, now desperately resurrected. The shield we are building for tomorrow may be powered by the ghost of a technology we chose not to build yesterday. Now, the resolution, the climax. Will it work? The brutal, honest answer is, we won't know until we need it. Project Aegis is the ultimate paradox, a system of unimaginable cost and complexity, designed to never be used. Its success is measured in its silence, in the absence of a cataclysm. This is the emotional peak of our story, not an explosion, but a quiet, collective sigh of relief that may last for centuries. The central conflict, humanity versus a random universe, is never fully resolved. It is managed, contained. We are moving from a species at the mercy of the cosmos to one that actively shapes its own destiny. We are building a guardrail for our pale blue dot. As for the mystery of its origins, the whispers of ancient tech or Cold War ghosts, they may never be confirmed. Perhaps they are just stories we tell ourselves to make such a monumental undertaking feel possible, to convince ourselves that we can, in a single generation, erect a defense against a force that has governed extinction for billions of years. We close with this. For millennia, we looked at the scarred face of the moon and saw the evidence of a violent solar system. We told stories of gods and punishments. Now we look up and see a problem to be solved, an equation to be balanced. The $500 billion shield is more than metal and fusion plasma. It is a statement, a declaration that our story does not have to end the way the dinosaurs did, that we will see the danger coming, and we will stand in its way. The hammer is being forged in orbit, not to wage war, but to keep the peace between Earth and the heavens. And its first real test won't be in a report or a simulation. It will be in the continued existence of everything we have